I absolutely agree with you, but I would base an argument on these kinds of values, like the value of family, the value of marriage, the value of having children, the value of knowing your lineage, the value of a community, the value of God and worshiping God without partners. I would base an argument in those. They're universal values. If we try to base an argument on pure reproduction and survival and utility, then Islam will not come out on top, because Islam is not trying to maximize that. Like, Islam is not just trying to maximize the number of people on earth. Islam is also not trying to maximize like our GDP. Like, because atheists often make this argument, like we can determine whether atheism is better than secularism on the basis of which countries have a higher GDP. Muslim countries have much lower GDP than secular atheistic countries. Well, that shows that Islam is a bad way of life or a bad philosophy. We don't accept that argument, right?
No, we don't. But also, what I'm trying to say is there are many reasons why Islam technologically is being dominated. Okay, we can get into that slowly. But in terms of being a genetic dead end, because first I want to approach it from his worldview, and then of course we could look at it as a sociological experiment. From his worldview, the nuclear family is more fit. Yes or no? He's a materialist philosopher, and I assume he adopts evolution.
I don't know if he would accept that, but let's just say he does
Okay,
for the sake of argument.
if our fitness value is greater, if our fitness value is greater, if our way of life also makes sense scientifically. Scientifically speaking, we're living to our true potential. We're surviving and we're reproducing. A certain lifestyle might not be. Actually, a certain lifestyle might be headed towards a genetic dead end. There's no survival and reproduction. There's no final. There's no passing down of their genetic material. Now, if are they doing that at the cost of their own personal happiness? Fine, that's their business. Now, if you want to talk about it sociologically, you're right. I would say Islam has a different priority. Now, we say God first, family / society second. We don't live for our own personal happiness. You know, I tell my children, if you live for your own personal happiness, the irony of it all is you're going to be depressed. You're going to be sad. I would tell you that if I'm living for my own personal happiness and my wife is living for her own personal happiness, now we're in sociology now. We're no longer talking about evolutionary fitness. She's living for her own personal happiness. I'm living for my own personal happiness. My children are living for their own personal happiness. Maybe my son has blue hair and he believes in communism, and my other son, he's he's an anarchist maybe, and my wife, she believes in something else completely. We're completely divided. We have nothing in common. I don't feel connected to my family whatsoever. Don't forget, I would tell you that an element for happiness is to have a healthy society. If we all start living for ourselves, you're going to have a divided society, which you see that in the West already. People don't have anything in common with their children. Their children actually, you could see, I mean, there's division in every society, but you could see that they don't pass down their traditions and way of life, because go out there and find your own way of life. Liberalism leads to mass division, massive division. They don't think alike. They don't believe in the same things. They have no common threads. They actually will have more in common with people on the other side of the ocean. And if you look at the West, they need immigration very badly. Why? They don't have kids anymore. The women in the West are telling the men in the West, we don't want to have your children. Actually, if you get us pregnant by accident, we're going to abort the child. It's a type of self-destruction. Liberalism, in my opinion, is going in the direction of self-destruction. Tell me what you think about that.
No, I agree. I completely agree with those points.